Hi, Facebook. We're live. This is my little work nook. I'm happy to have you here so you guys can get a little bit of an idea of the things that are important to me in my life. What are those books back there? I don't know. You'll have to watch. So, one thing I want to do is I want to make sure I'm live on the right page, because yesterday I went live on my personal page and I didn't realize it. And I'm thinking, gosh, I hope I haven't done that again. So let me just pause it and then I'm going to come right back to this. Let me see who's on here. Donna Whitaker. Okay, no. All right, people are coming on. My normal number is like 12 or 13 people live. So be sure to share this broadcast. If I do it again, then it's just meant to be on my personal page and I'm just going to share it from there. But anyways, what I want to talk to you guys today is I want to talk to you about 5 ways you can get involved and really begin to shift the national conversation on different topics. I know a lot of the people that follow me on my page is like mommy activists. So that's kind of like the brand I want to go for. I want to find other mommies like me that are kind of funny and relatable and are actually really interested in shaping our nation and having a greater conversation. So one of my friends on my personal page the other day shared the article that I had just shared yesterday night. And some of the feedback in that post were from women that said, oh my gosh, like this is terrible. We got to start saying stuff, but I really don't know where to start. What do I do? How do I get involved? Like it seems daunting. Like if you're not plugged in, but you see, the infanticide conversation happening at a national level, how do you as an individual just really get out there and share what you believe? And so what are the things you can do to really shift a conversation? So I did 5 things, right? And so I borrowed Liberty's markers, so I'm going to go through those 5 things. The first thing is, if you have the money and the time, and you're a woman, specifically a conservative woman, the number one thing you can do to help your country and preserve it and like the constitutional liberties we all enjoy and the biblical worldview, the first thing you can do, check it out, run for office, any office. It doesn't matter. It could be a state, local, county commissioner. It can be, hey man, your HOA. Run for your HOA board. Because at this level, you get to set policy, okay? You get to help craft the message that our children have to listen to. In school, run for school board. That helps, put the textbooks in all of these schools that your kids are learning about. I mean, they don't even teach socialism really anymore. I know I really didn't learn it. I know about Hitler, but if you were to ask me about Mao, I would really struggle to tell you all about Mao. So, where it's not taught anymore. That's my point. So if you run for an office, any office, get involved. That's the number one place to start. I know that seems daunting too, but a lot of you ladies, specifically I'm talking to ladies, have the ability to. And if you really think about how low the bar is right now for being a congressperson, when we look at some of the people that just got elected, we really have no excuse. And as conservative and Christian women, we have a lot to say, but friends, as women, we have to feel the burden to lead. I think in a lot of ways we step back from it. Culturally, I think the church has really told women, don't take that place of leadership. Let the man take that place of leadership. Not in a lot of denominations, but like some of the ones that I grew up in, they taught that. And so I'm blessed with a husband that, that lets me be me and lets me speak my mind. And I'm blessed to work for a man that lets me be me and gives me all the same opportunities that a man would have in my position. And so I think that women really need to begin to feel that burden to lead. Christian women need to answer that call, because I believe God is calling us to that. And when you look in Genesis, he commissions both men and women to take dominion and to rule and to reign and to subdue the chaos that's in the earth. And I have a really strong feeling that until women begin to take that place in our society, and especially within the United States, that until Christian women begin to do that, we're not going to see the change that we want to see. So I want to give you some stats just to back up what I was just saying. I don't know if you know this, but of the 435 members in the House, 102 are women. So that's about 23% of, the Congress people are women. And so that represents 34 states. But listen to this breakdown, okay? 89 of those women are Democrats. 13 are Republicans, are Republican conservative women upholding a biblical worldview. So ladies, we have got to step up and represent. That's why I'm spending extra time on this first tip is run. Run at a local level, be a tax collector, be the county commissioner, be on the school board. Run, like I said, just get on the HOA. Run, like be the mom at the PTA meeting on the board. It's in those positions that you get to have a lot of influence and craft the messages that our nation and our children are hearing. So that's number one. Okay, number two, if you don't want to run, I get it, all right? It's not for everybody. Number two, help campaign. Yes, let's campaign. Okay, things you may not know about campaigning these days. Oftentimes you can do it right on your phone. It's an app these days. So if there is, when it's campaign time, a candidate that you connect with, that you resonate with, honestly, even if you don't resonate with that person and it's the conservative Republican person on the ticket, help them campaign. And so that's going to be things like door knocking, meeting potential voters. The number one way to win voters isn't phone banking. It isn't sign waving. It isn't watching ads on your TV. Any grassroots person will tell you that's involved in elections, the number one way to win a vote is to knock on a door and meet a person face to face and have a conversation about what that candidate believes. But here's how this works. On your phone, they'll have apps. And so you could, let's say you're a mommy, because again, this is who I want to talk to, my activist mommies to rise up, is you can pull up on your phone. Let's say you drop the kids off with a friend or you're running to daycare. You can pull up on your phone houses in the area, like after you hit Target and you have your latte, you're like, oh, here's a handful of houses that need somebody to door knock. Okay, go do that. You find the house, ask the questions are here, check off the boxes, have the conversation, boop, go back about your day, all right? Sometimes it's organized, so at a set time you can do that. Other times you can do it on your own. Same thing with the phone banking. You can open up your app, call through some of the numbers, ask the same type of questions. They give you the questions to ask. It's really quick. It's only a couple of minutes per phone call. It won't be your number, and the app, it'll change your number. So you can just go through. Nobody's going to get your home phone number or anything like that, your cell phone number. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about help campaign. That is crucial, okay? There's a lot of good candidates out there and not enough helpers. Okay, third thing. Are we ready? Now, if you don't want to campaign and you don't want to run for office, you can always speak up. So we have to have conversations like this. So this is something you've noticed I've been a lot more vocal about this year. I'm doing more and more broadcasts. I kind of hide behind the scenes of, Larry Sparks, and I work with Lance and Annabelle. And so, but I have this worldview, right? I share the same worldview as many of you that are watching, but I have to start saying something, and so do you. And so in order to speak up, if you don't feel confident on what you believe or the biblical worldview, right? You have to go out and get that knowledge. So what you want to do is, I would suggest, I really like Well Versed by Jim Garlow. And so that is a really good introduction to kind of hot topic issues. And it presents the biblical worldview within it, why we believe what we believe. So start there, okay? Then, be vocal about things. Share broadcasts. Be a social media warrior. That's another way I like to kind of frame it, is if you find messages you resonate with, go ahead and share them. The other thing is what conservatives are losing. Conservatives are losing women. For some reason, we're not winning that one-to-one conversation with our girlfriends. And so when I also say speak up, we have to talk to our girlfriends about these issues. We have to talk about, a woman's right to choose is actually killing a child. And we need to have the conversation of why it's a child. It's not just a clump of cells. A lot of young women, especially in that issue, have never seen an ultrasound, have never seen that it looks like an actual baby. It's not a clump of cells. They truly believe it's a clump of cells. So we have to start having these conversations with our girlfriends. And so if you want, I think a good place to start is if you get together with your girlfriends, maybe get coffee, take an issue like this, go through the headlines, because we have to be informed, and we have to then inform others, because what's happening is a lot, and I don't know the way to frame this, but it's like it seems like a lot of the media and entertainment that's targeted towards women is incredibly biased. So like when I'm at home, or if I'm homeschooling, what's on during the day? Well, daytime television. So that's going to be The View. That's going to be that show like the Talk. It's got things like Ellen, it's so funny. Those shows are like, Ellen's really funny. The Talk and The View are just like, who wants to watch that? But a lot of women do. And so it's like this subtle brainwashing that's happening. And so we have to have the opposite conversation. Why no one, like Fox News, I'm just going to throw this out there if it goes viral, hasn't created an alternative to The View that's conservative based, and the liberal voices, the dissenting voice? I have no idea why nobody's done that yet, because there's millions of women like myself that would turn it on and watch it and laugh along. And it would represent me, like 50% of America would watch it. So anyways, that's just bonus. But that's my point, is we have to start having this conversation, because that's a very large voting block going into 2020 that we really have to recapture. The other one is millennials. So we're talking about your children. Millennials will be the largest voting block in the next general election. So we have got to make sure that they're informed. They've been told what to think, but they've not been told how to think. So if you can explain the logic behind it, you really will begin to change hearts and minds. So that was number 3, speak up. All right, number 4, I'm trying to go fast because I don't want to be here forever, but is mobilize in media. Now this is one that is for the activist mommy. So what we see the left do very well is, if there's an issue they're passionate about, they will get a group of 200 people to show up, sign wave, protest, and then they broadcast it all over social media. So it seems like it's a giant movement and all these people showed up. Plus then the media jumps in and they report on it. But one of the things we've got to do better is stuff like this, is doing media, is sharing on social media, but also mobilizing. So when there is a hot button issue, is there something we're passionate about? Like a lot of Christian conservatives, chimed in during the whole infanticide issue that we were going through, and it's really still going through. But we've got to come up with ways to form, even if it's like 200 people in one area that's really vocal, that's what I'm saying, or if it's 100 people, or if it's 50, if it's 50 women and children that sit down in the middle of a Target and protest in the little girls section or whatever, or in the baby section. It's just like, everybody goes crazy. But this is what we see the left do very, very well. So be thinking, what are things, if you're very passionate about an issue, what are things you can do where you can mobilize a group and then use social media? So stream it on Facebook, stream it on YouTube. If you put it on Instagram, like those types of things, that's what you want to do. All right. So use social media, speak up, mobilize your friends. All right. Last one, number 5. This is a 5th way you can help in some sort of way to transform culture. All right. Last one is find a group or form a group. So we have to learn how to do life together, and we tend to live a little isolated, and social media doesn't make up for, doing life on your own. What I would suggest is, if you go into Facebook and you go up in the search bar, type in conservative GOP women's groups around me. The women's clubs, they have all sorts of things for conservative women that helps you, 1, become educated on the issues and informed, and then 2, does life together with other ladies with a similar worldview, and then 3, when it's election time and it's time to mobilize, those are the ladies you want to be around and you want to be talking to. So anyways, those are my 5 ways you can get involved. And so I wanted to help you kind of get an idea. I know it seems like a giant elephant sometimes. You see these big issues come up, like border security, like the infanticide, even balancing the budget. A lot of ladies in houses actually do the budget. And so it's very strange, like when you're required to balance the budget in your house and not take a bunch of money or borrow money or go into debt, that our government kind of operates that way. So is to be informed and then to have these conversations. And so again, I know some of the issues seem really big, like a giant elephant, but we do it one bite at a time, right? And it's just, I don't want it to seem overwhelming. So if you want to get involved in campaigns, contact, whoever's running. You can try to contact the GOP. They're not what they need to be. I'm going to be totally honest. GOP in some areas is fantastic. In other areas, it just is not an accurate representation of even conservative values. So if there's a lot of times I'd go directly to the campaign and say, how can I help? How can I help you? I'm available, and they'll equip you with what you need. If you want to run in elections, check with your supervisor of elections in your county, in your state, and that's the place to start, and to see what's open, what are even races that are open that you could run for, and begin to get informed now. And if you feel the call and the burden, run in 2020 or even beyond that. So that's something I'll probably do in my life at some point, not right now, but I think we should all really be thinking that way of can my voice be heard? Because friends, honestly, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whatever, she was a bartender a few months ago. So that's the bar. If that's the bar, literally the bar, if that's the bar, then we should be thinking about, we should run. There's really no excuse. It's not intimidating. If she can get elected, honestly, anyone can get elected. You too could get elected. So I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Share with your friends, and tag your girlfriend that you want to do life with, and do some of these things with. Okay. All right, ladies and friends and gentlemen, if you're watching, thank you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.